cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife, leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying love may never fly. Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. Black and white.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sim Racers World TV, and welcome to another race meeting of the 2021 Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. This is the second race week in the B set of playoffs. Anyone that knows the championship format by now will know exactly what that means. We're here for rounds 4B, 5B and 6B. Ready out 1, 2 and 3 for this part of the season. Quite a lot to talk about from the last one. Tobias Olsen getting two big incidents early on in both of his heat races, managing to make it through to the final race of the night and still come away with some pretty strong points. Speaking of points, we ought to look at exactly how things stand at the moment. Currently, at the top of the precision class, we have Bart Daleman leading the way. This is in this set of playoffs, by the way. Alex Jonsson second on 48 points ahead of Dominikas Javaisha. Then it's Miguel Freitas and Pete Harrod rounding out your top 5. You can see there Tobias Olsson on 18 points. He's pretty safe, though, based on his first set of playoffs. If we look here, then, at the second lot in the consistency class, it's Victor Blick who is top, taking 3 wins in that class so far, ahead of Tim Rutten and Ben Hoffman. Wayne Palmer is 4th, ahead of Carn Newen on 34 points. Then it's Hans Polmans with a bit of a gap back to Stephen DeWolf. Philip Russell only 1 point behind. Taylor Lane on 4 points. And Martin Deckens not any points yet in the bank for him. Then this is the Academy class, which is Grabowski and Schmanski sharing the honours at the top. Adam Osceola is 3rd, ahead of Craig Schill and Greg Parmenter. Then it's Phil Reagan, the last one in class to score any points. Matthias Groen, Hoagie, Odoms and Veringer. None of them yet to score any points at all. But when it comes to the teams, it's flying at altitude with Alcantech that literally are flying at altitude, doing an amazing job so far, with Team Mad and XZ Racing Red tied on points behind. Simracersworld Esports are the next team up. They are 4th in the standings on 42 points. And then we have Team Year 1 on 39 points. You can see the rest below them there. But we're at Donington Park, a wonderful, wonderful circuit that has always provided great entertainment on Simracersworld TV. No matter what series it is. The guys are currently out in qualifying now. As you see, there are the times on the left. Tobias Olsson currently fastest with a 1:19.891. Although Bart Daleman's just gone 27 thousandths of a second slower than him in second place. Victor Blick leading the consistency class at the moment. And fastest in Academy is Daniele Giudici. I was racing with Daniele last night on R Factor 2 in basically what is the British Touring Car Championship on R Factor 2. We were both in Honda Civic Type R NGTC cars. And this Dallara Formula 3 car, a very different kettle of fish, as Daniele finds out here. Alex Jonsson is back with us tonight with his teammate Mark Fletcher in the culmination between Altitude Esports and Alcantech, with the fantastic name Flying at Altitude with Alcantech. Saunders has just improved his time and gone 8th fastest. Sorry, 9th overall, I apologise. 8th in his class. Reese driving the Team Year 1 car. Miguel Freitas is currently down in 12th place as things stand. 10th in the Precision class. Pushing very, very hard indeed. Doesn't look like we've got his teammate Pete Harrod here tonight, unfortunately. He's not the lowest down in the Precision class, though. Dominikas Javaisha from the XZ Racing Red team is 14th overall. But Wayne Palmer is 22nd, 12th in class. Not quite sure what's happened to Wayne there, but he wasn't able to put a good time together by the look of it. He has only done 6 laps in the session. I say that, though, most of others, they're on the 9th lap now as things stand. Ben Hoffman has gone to the top of the XZ Racing Red pack. And, of course, the consistency pack as well. There's a lot of these XZ Racing cars out there. Jonsson goes 4th. Zemstra goes 4th. Zemstra just replacing his teammate there near the top of the times. Ross Nicholson's currently 3rd fastest for Sim Stickers. Ross is always quick. But honestly, the most unlucky sim racer I know. But look at the times on the left, though. Currently, it is less than a second separating the top 16 cars. Then it's Ryan Mikulev, who we have back on the grid for this week. Seems to have a slightly different rear wing design on his car. to his teammates. If you look at the rear wing of Ryan's car, look at the way that the year 1 is placed on it, and then look at Rhys Saunders. Seems different to me. I think it's just a situation where he hasn't updated the livery. Still, they look very similar, so it's not going to be mistaken for anything else. Neither is Philip Russell in the Team Fordzilla machine. He just comes around turn 1, 13th overall at the moment, 3rd in class. And we have just over 5 minutes of the session left to go. Now don't forget that in these sessions, once the timer hits 0, that is it. They don't get then that lap to complete and improve. There goes Saunders. He's gone up a place. Ben Hoffman's gone off the road. Not quite sure what happened to Ben. Let's have a look. Oh, he's just unsettled it over the curb. And around it goes into the gravel. And Mark Fletcher. Fletcher goes up the order. He puts his car 4th now, the number 11 machine. He said that he's going to be nowhere tonight. He messaged me earlier saying that he hasn't really done any testing and he's not expecting to be up there or be competitive, but he's flying now, quite literally at altitude. They've got the 2 Alcantech NHR by Nyman Racing machines between them of James Forsyth and Kevin Zemstra. Was that off the road? That was still less Craig Vrolick. Does he save it? Not quite. He's still off. He's still off. He's still off. He's still off. He's still having a moment. Silas just collects it. Unbelievable stuff. Let's see how that all started. Coming up towards McLean's, and he's gone way too hot into there. Oh, how he saved that, I don't know. That was a very, very wild ride one way, then the other. Doesn't quite make Coppice. It's still going. It's still going. It's very bumpy in an F3 car, that. That's not a comfortable ride at all. And then Fletcher off in the background. Whoa, and is that Wayne Palmer? Going off as well. It's not Wayne Palmer. It could have very well been Daniele Giudici. It was. This is what happened to Daniele. Chucks it into Coppice. The car understeers, clips the grass, and off he goes. Big slide through the DRS board. Manages not to hit anything, so it's all good. But Tobias Olsen, currently fastest in the 19 car, but he's also pushing the limits. Now you'll see the drivers do this over the course of the races tonight as well. You can get away with it in qualifying if you've done a lap already, but I'm not sure that Tobias will get away with that there, holding up Miguel Freitas. Miguel not too impressed with that, I can imagine. It looked like he did hold him up quite a bit there. We've had a purple first sector from Miguel as well. So hopefully for his sake he can put a lap together. And Miguel actually comes into the pits. So he's not messing about. As Daleman goes fastest. Bart Daleman, 1:19.783, goes fastest by more than a tenth of a second. Ryan Mikulev then takes to the top of the consistency class with a 1:20.293. That makes him the fastest in that class, 8th overall. He did get a telling off after Montreal. We picked up on it on that stream, and unfortunately Ryan was giving a very big telling off by the championship organisers, but he's back for the B playoffs and we wish him the best of success. Victor Blick is off the road. He's going to pull over and go to the pits. Here's Khan Nguyen, Vietnamese driver. Through, old hairpin, has a really big moment, somehow manages to keep it pointing the right way. He's currently 14th fastest, 4th in class. Speaking of 4th in class, Greg Parmenter is 4th in his class, the academy class. He's just ahead of Louis Correa. It's good to see Louis back with us in the Fast Cars Go Bang livery. Now, I can never remember, I apologise to Louis in advance, whether he's Venezuelan or Colombian. I believe it's the Venezuelan flag. As far as I remembered, the Colombian flag didn't have the stars and bits on it. But lovely old livery. It looks like an old school Jordan livery, doesn't it? The old Jordan F1 team. Craig Shill's back with us tonight, appearing in the Westech Autosport car. And suddenly, the session is done. So, let us take a look at your grid then for this first race of the evening. When it loads, it's taking its time. Apologies for this. Here we go. Bart Delman then. Pole position from Tobias Olsen, Ross Nicholson and Mark Fletcher. James Forsythe rounds out your top 5 with Kevin Zemstra and Alex Jonsson ahead of Ryan Mikulev, the fastest in the consistency class. Then it's Rhys Saunders and Dominikas Javaisha. Ben Hoffman is 11th, second in his class, ahead of Silas Krag-Vrolik. Then it's Victor Blick and Carl Newen on row 7. Miguel Freitas and Philip Russell make up row 8. That's really impressively bad, actually, from Miguel Freitas. He's usually very quick, but we saw him get held up, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the race. Tim Rutten 17th, Stephen Grabowski in 18th place. Then it's Hans Pullmans and Daniele Giudici rounding out your 20. Jakob Schmanski is 21st, ahead of Greg Parmenter and Louis Correa, with Phil Reagan 24th. Then we have Wayne Palmer in the precision class, way down the order, ahead of Craig Schill, Adam Osceola, Robert Odoms, and Stephen DeWolf will be starting from the back of the grid. So, it's just going to be a set amount of laps in this first heat. You can see that the grid even goes round the corner at the very top end of the field. I'm pretty sure that is Adam Osceola. It is. He's making sure that the car can turn left because he's going to need that. We just wait for Tobias Olsen and Mark Fletcher to take to the grid. But that's how they all line up here at Donny. And just about now we should get the lights on. And round 4B in the second set of playoffs of the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series is underway. Smoke galore, a car hasn't got going. Oh, and there's a huge pile up further back. Miguel Freitas is involved. Victor Blick, I think, is the car that didn't get going anywhere. Oh, Miguel is going to rue not getting that qualifying lap that he wanted. Starting way further down the order, gets involved in an incident. Tim Rutten, the Year 1 car that went into the air. Bart Daleman leads us away. The Alcantech guys fighting with the Year 1 guys here in the middle of the pack. That's Zemstra. We've got Craig Schill off the road. Craig's dropping down places. So too is Jakob Schmanski in Hot Wheels livery. You've got to love that. Mikulev is up 2 places here. Oh, as Rhys Saunders is off. Saunders having a moment. His teammate's doing really well. He's not so well. Kevin Zemstra having to defend now after getting back in front. Carl Newen has gone off the road and is losing place after place after place. The two Alcantech guys having a real go at Mikulev here. They need to give each other a little bit more room. They're squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Who's this now coming through? That's the 86 of Dominikas Javaisha. Down the inside, locks it on the brakes. Big 360 in front of everybody. And Dominikas, well, he gets style points for that one, but he really locked it up. Mikulev then has got... Oh, there's going on his mirrors. No! No, the two Alcantech cars. Alex Jonsson's... Well, that's Discovery Channel stuff, that. Alex Jonsson flying at altitude. He's flying into the back of Silas Krag-Vrolik. Normally it's Silas's job to crash into his teammates, but Alex has done that tonight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's have a look at what happened to Dominikas then down the hill. Snatches it on the brakes. Suddenly just goes around. And it's a big old moment. Now Silas Krag-Vrolik was trying to defend from Saunders. Looks to the inside to cover that line off. And then suddenly it's a massive send by Jonsson. Mounts him. And, well, in about 9 months' time we'll see some Formula 4 cars, I think. Anyway, Daleman still leads us. Tobias Olsen putting pressure on him. Then it's Ross Nicholson in third place, with Mark Fletcher just behind. Robert Odoms is going, oh damn, as he's gone off the road. Well, that was a really, really odd incident there by Jonsson. He just launched it up the inside. And Stephen Grabowski, may I say, is in 7th place. What a great job he's doing. Oh, Dominicas has binned it again. He's having a nightmare. Oh, no! I had to say it, didn't I? I had to say it. Stephen Grabowski doing a great job. Was in 7th, leading the academy class, and he's had an off. So Ben Hoffman leads consistency. Daniele Giudici leads the academy class. He's gained 12 places from where he started. Wayne Palmer's gained 14. And Stephen DeWolf, just behind him, has gained 17 positions. Some incredible drives through the field already here at Donington Park. And this is only lap 3 out of 13. Mark Fletcher has got past Ross Nicholson. Let's have a look how this happened. Oh, Ross just a little bit too deep into Redgate. Mark through nice and cleanly. Mark will be hoping for a podium out of this. Tobias Olsen's off the road. Hello, sunshine. Absolute favourite for the championship is Tobias. And now Nicholson's back in front of Fletcher, and James Forsyke's trying to play with this as well. Let's go on board with him. See how it looks. Oh, Nicholson's gone deep. Look at Fletcher there getting the cutback. Nicely done. Fletcher then goes to the left-hand side to try and get in the slipstream. Put a bit more pressure on. All this time, Forsyke could just watch it develop in front of him. He's careful with the over-rotation out of the final hairpin. And down the straight we go. Up the hill. You never really realise how uphill it is at Donington Park towards Redgate. James just taking it nice and easy on the left-hand side there. You heard him get out of the throttle to make sure he didn't spin up the rears. But Nicholson is the man having to defend here. You can see them using all of the curbs. It sounds fantastic as well, doesn't it? You could see even the little bit of gravel around the tyre when he clipped the inside of the old hairpin like that, because this is Stephen DeWolf off the road and he's hit the barrier and damaged the left rear. That is due to retire, I think. Apologies. This is what happened to him. It's Rhys Saunders behind. Oh, he's closed that off, in fairness, as DeWolf, and it's squashed the suspension in against the barrier. Silas Craig Vrolik has had another off, actually, by the way, and he's given up. Silas back into the pits. DeWolf limping the car back. And the battles go on up front. Bart Daleman's done the fastest lap of the race, or at least he had, until Olsen crossed the line right behind him and just beat him by a matter of 1.6 tenths of a second. Nicholson holding on to a podium position at the minute, though. Fletcher in 4th. And it's Forsyke. Or it would have been. Well, it nearly wasn't. Forsyke just continuing. Running a bit wide at the old hairpin. This is going on a bit further down. This is Stephen Grabowski and Adam Osiawala. Stephen having his spin earlier thanks to my commentator's curse. Putting pressure on the XZ Racing orange machine. Car off in front of them. That's Carl Newen. Stephen's just getting closer and closer and closer, waiting for that door to open. It opens a little bit there, but it's going to be hard to see up to Coppes. Puts his nose down the inside. Adam's giving plenty of room. Stephen just can't quite get it done yet. Later on the brakes is Grabowski. Lovely stuff. Overtaking Adam Osiawala. Now we go back to this because Nicholson is still having to defend hard from Fletcher. Down the crane as we go. Lovely pace through there by Ross Nicholson. You can see the suspension working away, absorbing everything it can as the cars lean one way then the other. Really using that tyre up the hill there, punching the traction into the ground. Through Coppice they go, really unloads the right rear that we're looking at. Fletcher unloads his pace as well. Lost a lot of ground there, did Mark Fletcher. And suddenly James Forsythe, oh, and he's not having connection issues. He's going to attack him. Further down, one of the fan favourites, Hans Polmans. He's 22nd. He's lost 3 places since the start. He's trying to make his way back up the order. That's Phil Reagan in front of him. Now I just quickly want to take a look back at the start. So Victor Blick did not get going. And that's where Polmans got involved. Tim Rutten was in it as well, and Miguel Freitas. Now you do expect the car in front of you to go, as... Hello, Tim. Yeah, it's a big old mess, that, isn't it? That is a big old mess. Oh, car off! Car off right, that's Robert Odoms. Flies off to the right-hand side, just lights up the rears on the exit of the hairpin. It's so easy to do. You're going to see that a lot tonight. Daniele Giudici still leading the Academy class. 8th place overall as well after starting 20th on the grid. Fantastic stuff from Daniele. Ben Hoffman leads the consistency class, just ahead of him in 7th on the road. Ben using his trusty Sebastian Vettel lid that we always see him in. Tries to keep it nice and tidy down at the hairpin. It's when you snatch a gear when you're going back up the hill, that's when the cars really spin up. Another fastest lap of the race by Bart Daleman, a 1:19.8. This is Rhys Saunders in car 91, chasing down Louis Correa. Now Louis is 2nd in the Academy class at the moment, so he won't want to fight this too hard if he knows what's good for him. Rhys is just showing his nose down the inside, just making his intentions clear, letting him know that he does want to get past eventually. Oh, and he will do if he does that. There you go. Wise stuff there from Louis Correa. He went a bit too hot into Redgate and he thought, nah, there's no point in me fighting that. No point. I'm just going to sit behind you now, Rhys. You just do your thing. Although, to be fair, Louis looking very fast indeed. Now he's tucked in. There's just little details here and there that show the pace difference between the two. Oh, as Louis goes a little bit too close to the edge of the circuit there, has to back out of it. Hello all of you in the chat that are watching. Thank you for your comments so far. Good to get that interaction. There's a bit of interaction going on here between Nicholson and Fletcher, to be fair. Mark is staying within half a second of him. But he's just not able to make the move yet. Even clipping the grass there, Ross Nicholson. He's using that much of the road. Mark just can't quite stay with it. Just behind them, James Forsythe has got the best view of all the action. He's got 2 seconds over his teammate Kevin Zemstra as well, so not too much to worry about in terms of guys chasing them. It looks like Fletcher is the one that's spearheading the pace at the moment. Up to Coppice they go. It's all about carrying the pace. No, Fletcher's binned it. Fletcher has put it in the wall. I had to say it. That's another commentator's curse. Oh, don't rejoin there, Mark. Oh, he's trying, but the car is very, very broken. He just dipped a wheel onto the grass, look. There. Oh, I was just saying it's about carrying the pace around there, and into the wall it goes. And that's put a big shock through the suspension. And Mark Fletcher is going to be out of this race. Yeah, look, as soon as he accelerates, he tries to turn right. He's going to at least drag it home. But that was the worst case scenario for Mark Fletcher. Sorry, we will try and have a look back at this. Here you go. This is from Ross Nicholson. Just runs that little bit further out. The corner tightens slightly. He overcorrects it. And into the barrier it goes. It's a very, very odd sight as it comes back up the hill. Wayne Palmer has gained 17 places, by the way. Wayne Palmer currently running in 8th place. He's 6th in the precision class. That's Rhys Saunders right behind him, and that is for position. But Rhys is where he started this race. He started 9th on the grid. Wayne started in 25th. And he's currently the man in front. Dominicas Chavajsa is right behind Greg Parmenter as well. He's also got Alex Jonsson flying up behind him for company. Looking down the inside is Dominicas, the Lithuanian, pushing hard. He's lost 8 places from where he started. Obviously had that big spin earlier. He's lost 8 places and now he's 8th in class in 18th. And look at Jonsson as well. Jonsson was the one that sent it over the top of Silas. Now he sends it down the inside of Dominicas and he's just chucked him off the road. Oh, dearie me. Well, not quite sure where to point any blame there. There's a car. Whoa, hello, that's Adam Oshiawala. Sat very much in a dangerous position. Gets going again. Who is the other car involved in that? Because there was somebody else. As Greg Parmenter's had a moment as well. Adam Oshiawala's off. Is Greg going to go off? Oh, Greg clips him. There was a tap. I'm not sure if Greg's car's damaged. Whoa, it's not behaving itself, is it? Certainly not. We're on lap 11 out of 13 now. Bart Daleman leading the way. And apologies if Mr. Wayne is in the wrong class. I will change that for you right away. There you go. Boom. Wayne Palmer is now in the consistency class. Ah, yeah, I should have been able to tell that by the boards on the side of the rear wing. Even still, we move. But Bart Daleman leads the way, 2.5 seconds clear of Tobias Olsson, 2.5 seconds clear of Ross Nicholson, 2.3 seconds clear of James Forsyke, 1.7 seconds clear of Kevin Zemstra. Then it's Ben Hoffman 10 seconds back with a 6-second buffer, I should say, over Daniele Giudici. The two closest cars on track right now are Craig Schill and Jakob Schmanski. The Hot Wheels car trying to get past Craig in the WesTech Autosport car. Looks like Jakob's having a little bit of a blink in and out with his internet. So we look back from Mr. Schill as we fly up the hill towards McLean's. Listen to those curbs rattle. We're on to the final lap of the race now for Bart Daleman. And here he is down the hill. And oh no, Ross has disappeared. Oh, don't tell me that his internet's disconnected. Oh no, he's popped back. He's popped back, he's there. Honestly, Ross is the most unlucky sim racer I know. His internet having a moment there, and he comes back for... That's typical Ross internet, that is. He's finally having a race where things go right, and it disconnects. Robert Odoms has gone off again. He's having a very, very difficult race, unfortunately. But Bart Daleman... Oh no, is that Tobias Olsson? Tobias Olsson's binned it! I cannot believe it. He did this at Road Atlanta twice last time round. And he's done it again. Tobias Olsen throwing points into the gravel so far in this set of playoffs. Bart Daleman will be loving that. Out the final corner he comes and takes the first win of the night. Great stuff from the Sim Racers World Esports driver. Sim Stickers, second place for Ross Nicholson. James Forsyke ends up with a podium. I bet he's pleased with that, but not for his teammate. Kevin Zemstra is fourth and Tobias Olsen. Well, you naughty boy. Fifth place for Tobias. He'll be raging with that one. Ben Hoffman wins the consistency class. Daniele Giudici is going to win the academy class. What a great start to his evening. He finishes ahead of Reece Saunders and Wayne Palmer, second in his class. Louis Correa is going to be second in academy. Carl Newen and Stephen Grabowski are going to round up their class podiums. Let's have a look at what Tobias did then. Into the chicane. Oh, he's just done it on the change downs. It's a very, very big slide. He gives it a second before he gets going. I think he was maybe just checking the traffic. Bart Daleman takes the win. We still have cars finishing, actually. Phil Reagan crossing the line. Greg Parmenter as well. Stephen DeWolf, still after gaining 9 places, will only finish 20th. Adam Osiowala just behind with Mark Fletcher crossing the line 22nd. 8th in class, but Mark knows he can do a lot better than that. The drivers we lost from the race were Dominikas Javaisha, Robert Odoms, Ryan Mikalev, and much more. We'll have a quick look at the result of that one right now. Bart Daleman takes the win. Nicholson second and Forsyke third. We've just run through this though, so what I'm going to show you is the drivers that didn't make the end of the race. Dominikas Javaisha, Robert Odoms, Ryan Mikalev, Philip Russell, Miguel Freitas, Silas Kragvrolic, and Vic de Blick. Very attritional race, that one. Very attritional indeed. But there is your top set of finishes. Great class wins for Ben Hoffman and Daniele Giudici. They can be very, very pleased with themselves after that one. Mark Fletcher, though, dropping all the way down to 22nd place. That is not how he would have liked things to go. But it's never easy here at Donington Park. It's a very high-speed circuit, and in cars like this, you have to have your wits about you at all times. So, too, does Tobias Olsen. He learned that the hard way, right at the end of the race, 3 corners from home, and he spins the car. Wayne Palmer had a very interesting race to come through the pack. He was our biggest mover in the field as well, was Wayne. But now we're into the warm-up between the 2 races. There's only a couple of minutes of this warm-up, so the drivers will barely get a lap in. Before they will be called upon to start the next race. Craig Schill, who is always a staple of entertainment in warm-up sessions between races for me. He's out once again, at least making sure that we have cars out there. You can see Palmer just showing you how quickly these cars change direction. It's pretty amazing. But Craig Schill in the Westech Autosport car, very pretty looking machine. Sim 3D branding down the side of it. My good mate Calvin Dent. The livery actually showing a Mercedes-Benz logo on the airbox. Formula 3 cars always used to either be sort of Mercedes or Volkswagen engines. A lot of the time, always bearing the logo of whichever manufacturer they were from on the airbox. Right then, second grid of the night. It's going to be the race result from race 1. So it's Daleman and Nicholson on the front row, Forsyke and Zemstra, Olsen and Hoffman, followed by Giudici and Saunders, Palmer and Louis Correa round out your top 10. Now, speaking of Daniele Giudici, I think it's going to be good for him to just try and survive this race with a number of fast guys that are going to be coming through and recovering from a very messy first race. He will do well here to stay out of trouble. We've got a big group of them as well coming from the back, involving Javaisha, Fletcher, Freitas, Silas Kragvrolic as well. So let's keep our eyes on those boys. So this is the second of 3 races tonight. This is going to be another 13 laps. And then we'll take a quick break before we come back for the final race of the evening, which I believe will be about 24 laps. Looks like Grabowski and De Wolf are going to start from the pits. Same with Miguel Freitas. But it's time to take your pick, everybody, because the second race of the night at Donington Park is underway. Fantastic launch by Bart Daleman. We've got cars moving slowly, people fanning out a lot. Looks like Giudici's gone backwards, completely backwards there. He's lost 4 places already. Oh, it's big contact. Big contact. That's Jakob Schmanski down the inside. Who has he taken with him? He's taken Tim Rotten, Carl New and Daniele Giudici. Oh, Robert Odom's off in a very big way. Robert Odom's having a massive accident on the exit of Redgate. That was a humongous hit. Still, Bart Daleman leads the way. Ross Nicholson second. Olsen third. Although they're all off the road. Hoffman still leads the consistency class from Palmer. Then it's Louis Correa. He's gained a place and moved up. Alex Johnson's gained 6 positions from 17th on the grid. Sorry, 16th on the grid. Do your maths, Chaz. Ryan Mikulev, biggest mover so far. 10 places gained. Well, let's have a look at it from his point of view, because he was right near the back of the pack. Fantastic launch. Great avoidance there. Now, are we going to see Schmanski down the inside? He's a bit further up. Oh, he wipes good 3 or 4 of them out. Now, are we going to see Odoms go off, or is he behind us? Oh, there he goes. Oh, that's a sickening impact, even in a sim. That was a horrible impact. And look at that, Mikulev down the inside. So we've lost Osiwala, Odoms, and Freitas. Yeah, Freitas didn't start the race even. This is Phil Reagan in a fight with Victor Blick, who, despite losing that place there, has still gained 11 places in this race. Now, what happened to Robert Odoms? Obviously, with it being the sim, we can look at accidents like this and assess what went on. Oh, who was that? It was one of his teammates as well. It was an XZ Racing red car coming through. It can't, you know what? I'm going to put money on this. Dominicus is very exciting to watch, but I don't know if that was on him, really. That was unfair. We've had Mark Fletcher go off the road, I think. No, Wayne Palmer. It was Wayne Palmer who's gone off the road. He's lost a bucket load of places. Who's that behind him? Oh, it's Johnson. Johnson's not hit him. He's just had a big moment up at Coppice. I thought Fletcher had gone off the road, but Mark Fletcher's gained 15 places so far. Silas Craig Vrolic has gained 17 places. So some of these guys are flying through the order. Daleman, fastest lap of the race. Nicholson, Forsyth and Zemstra following him. Hoffman leads his class 5th overall. Correa leads his class 10th overall. Look at this behind here. Tobias Olsen under attack from Dominikas Jovaisha. The battles rage on already at Donington. Mikulev has got his teammate Rhys Saunders all over the back of him. The two of them in different classes. Mikulev in the consistency class, Saunders in precision. Tobias Olsen's off the road. Louis Correa is also off the road. What's happened to Louis? Louis out of the race. Louis Correa has been off big time. This is down the hill. That's Silas with him. Oh, there's a kiss. Oh my goodness me. And then suddenly he just pops it back to the pits. I was going to say the car didn't look damaged or anything. That's not quite sure why he's retired there, but yeah, Silas unfortunately dealing the final blow there. Now Philip Russell's gained 16 spots in this race, so too has Silas, so too has Victor Blick. Mikulev is the biggest mover with 17 gained, which almost reflects his car number completely. Forsyth fastest lap of the race, 120.9. 120.6 for Daleman, 120.8 for Ross Nicholson though, so clearly those laps weren't clean. They must have had an incident point at some part of the lap. But Forsyth running very well here. Everyone filtering their way down through the craners. Very scary bit of road. Tobias Olsen's pushing hard. He's gained 6 places. Sorry, lost 6 places from where he started. So he's having another very challenging night. Currently behind Philip Russell, consistency class driver. Tobias in the precision class. Oh, there's nothing precise about that. There is nothing precise about that whatsoever, Tobias. Lovely spin, but completely off. I think somebody went off with him, you know. I don't think he was the only one. Dominicas went off as well. Oh, Javaisha's done the same thing, but just hasn't had the spin. Can't believe it. Where are these mistakes coming from Tobias Olsen? This is not what we saw from him in the first set of playoffs. He was almost untouchable in the first amount. But no, this time round, he's not got it easy at all. Neither has Philip Russell right now. He's got Mikolev and Craig Vrolik behind. Now Reece Saunders has been off. Oh, Reece has spun it on his own. Russell goes through. And Reece tries to recover. Victor Blick's off. Victor Blick was right up there. Now he's down to 14th place. 15th, 16th. Oh no, he's lost it on the grass now. Vic, I believe, should be in the precision class as well, based on his number boards on his car. Because he had blue ones, which normally is the precision class. Either way, Daleman leads us. Still fastest lap of the race. He's just done another one. Ross Nicholson second, Forsyth in third. And this battle carries on. Silas Craig Vrolik has gained 20 places. Then it's Philip Russell, Reece Saunders, Ryan Mikolev, Hans Polmans at the back of this. Then there's a gap back to Phil Reagan, who's got Dominicas Javaisha, Tim Rutten, Wayne Palmer, all queuing up to have a go. Down the hill they go. Dominicas chucks it up the inside. It's almost scary watching him sometimes. Not sure when the slap on the wrists will come, but needs to just have a chill pill for a minute. Oh, you could hear him have to change down there to get out of that one. Now don't forget, these two are technically teammates, both XZ Racing. One of them for Team Red, the other one for Team Neon. And behind, Wayne Palmer down the inside of Rutten. Through he goes. Silas Craig Vrolik having a moment there. Ryan Mikolev has overtaken his teammate Reece Saunders. There you can see the difference in the two liveries. There's a lot more pink on the older livery. Javaisha down the inside of Phil Reagan. And he goes through into 13th position. Even behind that, there's more battles going on. Carn Newen just getting ahead of Craig Schill, but the two of them swapping back. They've got Tobias Olsen right in front of them. Hell of an example to be following. And look at that. Carn Newen tries to hang it around the outside at Redgate. Does so. But the inside line works for Schill on the exit. Gets rid of the overlap. And you can't do anything about it. Now we need to go forward in time because Philip Russell has still got Mikolev and Saunders all over him. Team Fordzilla car, I should say, coming under a lot of pressure. Mikolev switches one way, then the other, chucks it down the inside. He's never going to make that. Oh, how they both made it through there, I don't know. As flamboyant as anything from Mikolev. Massive self-belief there. Saunders now chucks it up the inside of Philip Russell, who won't be too chuffed with that, to be honest, from Mikolev, because he got out of it and that made Mikolev's job a lot easier. Philip Russell, though, keeps it down the inside of Saunders. Holds his place. Let's have a look at it again. Well, that took its time. So he's on the right-hand side, chucks it over to the left. Later on the brakes. Oh. Well, it was the fact they didn't leave any exit on the right, any room on the right apex there. That's what was the scary bit. And it looks like he's lost a place now. He's been off. Oh, he's got too hot through Redgate. Whoa, what a save that was. What a save. The car very much out of shape. We go on another suspension cam here. This is Ross Nicholson looking back at James Forsyke. You can hear the revs dropping there as he nearly locks up the rears and drops it. Forsyke climbing around behind him. Putting him under severe pressure right now, that 52 car. Lovely exit though from Ross Nicholson. And we've got two more Alcantech branded cars. Now the only car in the top 6 currently that didn't start there is Alex Johnson, and he's gained 11 places to get to where he is now, and he's still doing personal bests. He's absolutely flying. Oh, Philip Russell's off. He's back on. Now, did he get any help from Saunders? No, he's just done it himself. He's gone in way too hot. He's lucky that the straight for the national circuit extends to there. Now here's Mikolev with Pullmans and Zawaisha right behind him. Dominikas is in. Oh, and he's off. No, Pullmans is off, sorry. Dominikas down the inside. Hansi gets an earful. Let's have a look. Oh, I don't know if he left enough room there. He's lucky that he managed to carry on. But he won't be too chuffed, and I imagine the car won't feel great either. Now Philip Russell has Dominikas behind him. He's got Ryan Mikolev still just a second up the road. The Team Fordzilla drivers certainly had a lively race, a lot going on around him. Zemstra's got a lot going on around him right now as well, because let's not forget that Jonsson, the car behind, is the one that climbed all over the back of Silas Kragvrolik earlier on in the evening. Slightly different shades of red due to the spec map. One of them is metallic, the other one's glossy. Jonsson is officially in this one flying at altitude with Alcantech, as is his teammate Mark Fletcher, who is behind them, by the way, on the road, 4 seconds back. But Kevin Zemstra is Alcantech NHR by Nyman Racing, which is the official team name. Just Jonsson has teamed up with Mark for this series in particular, and this half of the campaign as well. He's got Ben Hoffman behind, who is still leading his class. Phil Reagan still leads the academy class. He's gained 5 places in this race, 13th overall. Done a good job so far as Phil Reagan. XZ Racing, I believe, is his venture. He does the liveries for the team as well, does Phil. A look at all the road that Ross Nicholson's using there. Is that a bit too much road, though? Because Forsyke seems to get a mega run out of there as we're on to lap 11. Down the crane as they go, side by side. They need to think about points here and be careful. Forsyke down the inside, lovely move. Great awareness from Nicholson as well to give him the room to do that. Certainly accommodated it. He's going to try and push around the outside up towards McLean's. Nothing doing that time round. Looks like Forsyke has got that cemented right now. And Philip Russell has just lost a place to Silas Kragvrolik, who's going to try and continue on his way forward. He's got 18 positions gained. He's the biggest mover in the field at the moment. Ryan Mikolev has gained 16, but he is Silas's next target. Whenever you see Silas's lid, I always think it's David Perrell. Looks very similar from a distance. Mikolev is there though, 3 seconds up the road, so he's got some work to do in the last couple of laps. Has Silas, unless Ryan pushes a bit too hard like that and does it for him. Still fastest laps coming in. Bart Daleman 120.0. There's Carl Newen down the inside. Little bit of style on that one as he passes Hans Polmans. That's for positioning class as well. Stephen Grabowski's not too far behind these guys. Khan parks it on the apex. Really parks it on the apex. Bit of a slide there from Polmans. Now what's going to happen between these boys? Well, that's what's going to happen. Ross Nicholson is off the road. Loses one to Zemstra. Loses one to Jonsson. That's a real shame. And Philip Russell's just had a bit of a moment as well. He's lost a lot of ground here to these guys. Whoa, double slide there. Philip Russell ends up in the entrance to the pit lane. Now Tim Rutten has cleared off from these guys. Hans Polmans has got Khan Newen, Stephen Grabowski, Philip Russell, and then Craig Schill behind him. Oh, that was mighty close between those guys there. Phil looking to the inside. Khan Newen looking to the inside of Polmans. Now Blimp isn't going to do this justice, is it? Here's the chopper cam then. We'll go with Stephen Grabowski, who's right in the middle. The blue and orange car on the right. Philip Russell behind. Look at that from Grabowski round the outside. He goes, oh, there's a little bit of contact. Khan Newen gets pushed back, and through goes Philip Russell. Hans Polmans can disappear up the road. And who's that behind? That's Craig Schill in the Westec Autosport machine just there. The white and red car with the blue trim. But Bart Daleman's on his final lap of the race now, and he has a 6.2 second lead over James Forsythe. He has been a model of consistency, and you could say precision, so far this evening. Kevin Zemstra holds on to third for now. He's got Alex Jonsson and Ross Nicholson right behind him. Ross going to try something down into the chicane. No, not yet, he's not. Oh, he's got to be careful there as Ross. That took all the momentum out of his run. He wasn't able to do anything with it. Jonsson nearly into the back of Zemstra, but round the final corner for the second time tonight. Another phenomenal drive by Bart Daleman. Crosses the line, takes his second win of the evening. Awesome, awesome performance. James Forsythe, fastest lap at the end for Bart Daleman as well. James Forsythe finishes second ahead of Kevin Zemstra, Alex Jonsson, Ross Nicholson, and Mark Fletcher, who gained 16 positions to finish ahead of Ben Hoffman, who wins the consistency class. Rhys Saunders is going to be next up with his teammate Ryan Mikulev, second in consistency. Silas Craig Vrolik, our biggest mover in the field, 18 places gained to get inside the top 10. Wayne Palmer is going to be third in the consistency class, and Phil Reagan wins the academy class in the XZ Racing Neon car. He's followed home by Tim Rutten. Hans Polmans is just going to beat Philip Russell across the line. Stephen Grabowski, just behind them, is going to take second in academy, with Craig Schill getting a podium as well. Well, there is Bart Daleman, and he's going to be a very happy boy right now. It's been a perfect night so far for Bart. 2 pole positions, and taking the first race win and the second race win in a row. Now they're just using fuel just to aid the interests of COP26, of course, which is happening here in the UK this week. And still has Craig Vrolik, who has a lot to be happy about after that one. 18 positions gained, 28th on the grid to 10th. Awesome drive, nearly an incident there with Craig Schill. And Silas decides to throw it off the road. Now, one thing I must say I really appreciate in sim racing is when drivers do a full slowdown lap and go all the way back to the pits. I think that's really, really cool, really immersive. Some championships actually ask you to do it and dock you championship points if you don't. So, yeah, I think that's the way to do it, just to enforce it. Because it's a lot more realistic for the broadcast. It'd be nice to look at Bart Daleman for his cooldown lap, but no, he disappeared. Wayne Palmer finished third in consistency, though. If I can get my words out. It was a very, very good run from him. But right now, as it's about to go quiet here at Donington Park. The drivers and the organisers will prepare for the final race of the night. So if you join me, Chaz Draycott, in about 3 to 5 minutes' time, we'll be back with you with the final race of the evening. Don't go away.
It's black and white, just let me go. It's only right for all I know. It's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. Just let me go. It's only right for all I know. It's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white, 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 white. It's black and white. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white. It's black and white.
Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott here on Sim Racers World TV for the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. We're just in the middle of watching warm-up at the moment, ahead of our final race of the evening. It's certainly been an action-packed night once again. 2 mistakes from Tobias Olsen. I've seen him throw away points as he's done previously. But, of course, Tobias knows that he's got plenty of points to his name for... Come on, boys. Tobias has got plenty of his points to his name anyway from the first set of playoffs. To re-explain the championship format, there's 2 sets of playoffs. They are 4 race meetings each. You score points across those 4 race meetings, and whichever set you get more points in is the set of points that you carry towards the finals, which is 2 race meetings, which we'll see in a couple of weeks' time. So, no, I've not disconnected from the session. That is everything finishing up with warm-up. So now we have lone qualifying. The guys will crack on with it. Who do we watch? Who do we watch? Bart Delman's got 2 wins tonight. Stephen DeWolf has had a nightmare so far. We'll have a watch with Stephen DeWolf and see what he can manage in this session. As he exits the pit lane. Through Redgate he goes. Down the Crater curves. Very, very scary circuit, Donington Park. I've been around here twice in different cars. 2 of them kind of similar pace, actually. One was a Porsche 7... No, it wasn't a 718. It was a Cayman GT4 Club Sport. So basically the GT4 race car Porsche. Amazing machine. It was Charles Clark at the wheel. And the other time was my friend Steve Burke with his BMW M2 competition. Oh, and Stevens dropped it. Stevens dropped it at Coppice. Around it goes, just lights up the rears. He's now going to take a second just to get it back on track. But both laps were in... I say both laps. Both sessions were in very, very slippery, difficult conditions, which made the whole ride very, very entertaining indeed. They were on the national circuit though, and I've never been around the Grand Prix loop. But DeWolf making his way down to the Melbourne hairpin. It's very, very steep, this hill. You really don't get an idea of how steep it is in the sim. Great viewing spot though, plenty always goes on there. It's just you can't really see anything else of the track, unfortunately. But Stephen DeWolf comes to the final corner. He's going to take a late apex here to make sure he gets a good run. Hard on the power. And here we go. Now he's going to use this as another lap to warm the tyres up, I think. Oh, Ben Hoffman's off the road. Ben Hoffman's off the road big time. Ben has gone off big time. Exit the old hairpin, clips the grass. Yep, oh, it's gone one way, then the other. Oh, and then he clips the grass again, and yep. What he's done there is Kelvin Burted it. Big, big hit into the wall. Robert Odoms has done the same. He had a nightmare in the first 2 races. I really hope for him it gets better in the final race. Mikolev has done a purple sector 1. Purple sectors 3 and 4 from Mark Fletcher on the opening lap. Philip Russell. No, it's Daniele Giudici has gone off. He's only just come out of the pits. There's Daniele. Greg Parmenter's just recovered from going off the road as well. And he's going off again by the look of it. That's going to absolutely obliterate those tyres. And you all know what iRacing's tyres are like. Kevin Zemstra goes top with a 121.0. We've seen people go a lot quicker than that so far tonight. Bart Delman did a 119.9 at the end of the last race. So there's at least a second in there. Mikolev crossing the line now. What can he do? Goes fastest, a 120.7, over a quarter of a second clear of Kevin Zemstra and Mark Fletcher. Great stuff by Ryan Mikolev. Very, very quick indeed. Whereas Bart Delman, he's going up to McLean's actually, so Bart's not anywhere near completing a lap at this moment in time. We've had a purple sector 2 from him though. And Tim Rutten's gone off the road at the same point that Bart's at, but don't forget this is lone qualifying, so they don't have the other cars around them on track. They just get on with it as they please, with no disturbance. So the people that have got purple sectors at the minute are Tobias Olsen, Mark Fletcher, Reece Saunders and Bart Delman. Brian Mikulev no longer having any purple sectors. Here's Bart into the last corner. What can he do with this? 20.7 to beat. Goes for the line now. And he does it at 120.4. Clears Mikulev by the same sort of distance that he cleared Zemstra. Fletcher goes up to 3rd place in the flying at altitude with Alcantech machine. Silas Craig Vrolik's done a purple sector on this lap as well. Olsen goes 2nd fastest, 120.5 for Tobias Olsen. Where does Craig Vrolik go? 7th, 121.1. Purple sector 3 from Silas. Purple sector 2 from Fletcher. Daleman's just done 2 purple sectors at the start of the lap now. So Bart is really flying. Let's see what his sector 3 was like. It was 22.48 seconds last time. Have to see how this sector matches up. It looks like he's absolutely on it. 22.32. It's another purple sector. All purple from Bart Daleman so far. Absolutely on a mission right now is the Belgian. He wants to be top of the B playoffs, and he's certainly making it work. People will shout fix because he's one of the series admin, if not the main series admin, but still across the line goes Bart. 120.113. Zemstra did a 120.5 as well to go faster than Olsen, but Bart Daleman decimates the competition right there. Mark Fletcher now going 2nd fastest, 120.5, 120.6 for Jonsson. Rutten goes 8th, Grabowski goes 11th, leading the academy class. Schmanski does it now. Schmanski goes 10th in the Hot Wheels car. He said he was too annoyed at himself to continue, but he has continued. Great to see Jakob going back out there for this. Palmer goes 15th fastest in the consistency class. Hans Polmans is currently 16th. So close between these guys. I'll show you the intervals between each driver. That's how close they are. Look at that. Jonsson 10,000ths of a second off Tobias Olsen. 2,000ths between Rhys Saunders and Jakob Schmanski. 7,000ths between Dominikas Javajsha and Stephen Grabowski. Incredibly close. Mark Fletcher very impressive then, considering that he said to me he'd only done 21 laps of practice for tonight. They've been focusing on a Super Touring Car League over on Assetto Corsa. Interestingly enough, Fletcher has a personal best, a 120.4. Still can't beat Bart. Purple sector on this lap for Ross Nicholson, sector 1. The others have been personal bests so far, although sector 3 wasn't far off Bart's time though. He was quicker than Fletcher's personal best through that sector, so still this will be interesting from Ross Nicholson. What can he put on everybody else? He's 9/10 off in the minute. Wow, look at that, 120.3, an amazing final sector by Ross Nicholson. 2nd place on the grid. Awesome driving, absolutely awesome driving. And that'll be it for the session, I believe. No, it's just James Forsythe having internet issues. Philip Russell rounds out his session. Carl Newen has nearly finished his 3rd lap. He's done a couple of personal bests so far this time round. Faster than a number of cars in front of him went on their previous laps. He's 19th at the minute, 6th in class. Let's see where he can improve to. It doesn't count. He must have had an incident point somewhere. Adam Oshiawala not too far from finishing a lap either. Oh, big lock up down into the Melbourne hairpin. That's not going to help man nor beast. Up to the crest of the hill again. One way then the other. Oh, whoa, he's properly looped it. Adam throws it around, clearly not happy with that. The invisible car to James Forsythe, leaving some tyre tracks, and James heads to the pits. Daniele Giudici currently bottom of the pile at the moment in 28th. I'm not sure he's going to have long enough to do it. He's got a minute left. Well, he is over halfway through the lap. So he should be absolutely fine. Just needs to keep it tidy, not get an incident point. Here we are then, onto the brakes into the Melbourne hairpin. He's gone way too hot into there by the look of it. Smoothly on the power, back up the hill. On the power again out of the final hairpin. He is going to get enough time to do a lap. Let's see what he can do with it. He does improve though, up to 24th place, or 1:22 dead. Some 1.8 seconds off Bart Daleman, but Bart has been a real dominating force so far this evening, and it looks like he is about to carry that on. So we have our grid then for the final race of the night. Bart Daleman from Ross Nicholson on the front row, then it's Mark Fletcher and Kevin Zemstra. Tobias Olsen lines up alongside Alex Jonsson on row 3 with Ryan Mikalev and James Forstyke on row 4. Then it's Tim Rutten and Phil Russell with Silas Craig-Frolick alongside Ben Hoffman. Jakob Schmanski is next up with Rhys Saunders. Then it's Stephen Grabowski and Dominikas Javaisha. Then we have Louis Correa, Victor Blick, Khan Newen and Wayne Palmer, who rounds out the top 20. Hans Polmans is 21st ahead of Stephen DeWolf, with Phil Reagan and Daniele Giudici lining up on row 12. Then it's Greg Parmenter and Robert Odoms. Adam Osiawala and Craig Schill lines up at the back of the field. So a longer race this time. Should be a mandatory pit stop. It's not the easiest of pit lane entries either at Donington Park, and it's quite the pit lane exit as well. You really do come out into traffic that is already on a racing line, so hopefully we don't see any contact there. Just saw Silas Craig-Frolick straighten up his front wheels. He had them pointing all the way over to the right for a second. Everyone now just waiting patiently for Ross Nicholson. There he is. Boop. Tobias Olsen and Alex Jonsson need to fill the third row of the grid, and then we will be good to go. It's the two Swedes that we're waiting for at the moment. There's Forsyth blinking in and out a bit. And boop. There they are. The lights will come on just now. The final race of the night then in the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series from Donington Park is underway. Smoke galore all over the place. A car doesn't get going in the background. I think that was the 185 car of Ben Hoffman. Didn't really get moving. Mark Fletcher's had a great start. So too has Tobias Olsen. He's flown off the line. Oh, but he's binned it. Tobias again. I cannot believe it. Rhys Saunders has thrown it around in the background as well. Rhys Saunders off at the back of the pack. But Tobias Olsen, I'll get him. There he is. Unbelievable. Oh, there's a car off the road there in the middle of the field. One of the XZ cars. Didn't quite catch who that was, but Tobias Olsen. Unbelievable. The man that was so untouchable in the Set A playoffs has this time been completely unhinged. Jakob Schmanski and Philip Russell both having a moment. Jakob was leading his class. Not sure if Philip Russell was leading his. But now it's Louis Correa in the bright yellow machine that leads the yellow class, which is Academy. Now look at this. James Forsythe watching on as Mikalev tries to hold on to the consistency class lead. Oh, Tim Rutten's binned it now as well. I thought I saw a car go around on the side of my shot. And is that Louis Correa? Louis Correa's off the road. Oh, no one wants to finish the first lap. Oh, Wayne Palmer's off now. Good God, boys. Well, Bart Daleman leads, I know that much. Then it's Mark Fletcher, Kevin Zemstra, Alex Jonsson. Ross Nicholson is next up. Forsythe and Hoffman. Well, Forsythe's just blinking. Hoffman and Grabowski have come into the pits. Mikalev is on Forsythe. Through he goes. Mikalev leading consistency after the first lap. Further back, Stephen DeWolf has got Victor Blick and Tobias Olsen, the recovering Tobias Olsen, all over the back of him. Oh, Tobias goes one way, then the other. That was very small gap to get a Formula 3 car in. Nearly into the back of Stephen DeWolf now as well. God, he's pushing hard. Let's have a look at it from Tobias's point of view then. This is the start, 5th on the grid. Amazing launch. The left-hand side of the grid just does not get moving at all. Tobias is going to slot in, go around the outside of Mark Fletcher. Oh, he just touches the ground. He's so lucky he doesn't hit Mark Fletcher, actually. Just touches that little bit of Astro and gravel on the outside and completely slips it around. Now, Robert Odoms has just gone off and then off again. Oh, he's had a real moment there. Mark Fletcher also went off for a second. He's held second place. He's just had a bit of a lively segment there on the exit of the chicane. Daleman does the fastest lap of the race. Fletcher, then Zemstra, then Jonsson, Nicholson. Mikolev, Polmans, Newen is the order in the consistency class. Correa, Schmanski, Osiowala in the academy class. Now this is Khan Newen. He's third in his class at the moment. Chasing down second place in class, Hans Polmans. Although actually, no, Hansy's just got past him. I apologise. Jakob Schmanski's just had an off in the background as well. He's lost a bit of ground in the academy class. 23 laps this race, with a mandatory pit stop as well the drivers have to take. This is Adam Osiowala being overtaken by Rhys Saunders. Rhys making his way back through the pack after spinning early on. We need to go back to this though, because Hans Polmans is close to Khan Newen, and look at that, Tobias Olsen flinging it down the inside on his recovery through the field. We'll go on board with Tobias for a moment to see how he closes on the back of Hansy. Louis Correa making a bit of a mistake there into the final corner. Fletcher does the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.405, half a tenth faster than Bart Daleman. Polmans looks down the inside of Correa. They're both in different classes. Correa is leading his academy class. He manages to save it. Big moment there. Now Olsen down the inside of Polmans. Hansy's not going to want to give this up. Sticks it to the inside. Oh, Tobias cuts the nose off. That was so close. Manages to get away with it. Mikolev's overdone it up at McLean's. Ross Nicholson goes through. Actually, it looks like Mikolev went down the inside of Nicholson, and then he's just got a cutback on him. Now they fight down towards the chicane. Mikolev tries it later on the brakes. Nicholson has to avoid. Cuts the chicane. Will get a slowdown. Mikolev now back down the inside. Now he doesn't have to fight for these positions because this is not two drivers that are in his class. But Kevin Zemstra won't mind because it's opened the door for him. It's impressive pace by Mikolev, but very sendy into that chicane, isn't he? Another fastest lap from Fletcher. It looks like Daleman's time, though, while it was quicker, it didn't count. So it hasn't been registered as the fastest lap. Nicholson and Forsyth now having a fight with each other now that Zemstra is gone. Wait, where is Zemstra? Apologies, I got the cars mixed up there. Sorry about that. I said it was Zemstra, but it's Nicholson. It's not even Nicholson. It's Forsyth. So many Alcantec cars to keep up with. Apologies. And this is Louis Correa. He's got Khan Newen right behind him. Not for class position. Louis needs to just keep it calm here. He's leading the academy class. His next nearest challenger is Jakob Schmanski in the Hot Wheels mobile. Bart Daleman and Mark Fletcher at the front are just trading purple sectors right now. Oh no, we've got Craig Schill off the road. He's recovered. What a nightmare for Craig Schill. He's down at the back of the field at the moment. Oh, Mikolev's been off. After all of that, Ryan Mikolev has had a moment and he recovers. He's done it on his own as well. Just a little bit too hot into the final hairpin. Loses those 3 places. And another one for good luck. Fastest lap of the race for Bart Daleman, 1:20.2. Mark Fletcher did a 1:20.1, but again, didn't count, so he's obviously gone over track limits somewhere. Osceola is off Iowala. He's off for a whiler as well. This is Victor Blick. Behind him is Rhys Saunders with a whole train of cars. That's Carl Newen, Jakob Schmanski, Stephen DeWolf. Ryan Mikulev actually on that last lap did a purple sector 3. So he's got the pace as Ryan, but unfortunately that little mistake has cost him dear. Oh, look at this. Nicholson having to defend from James Forsythe. Beautiful, beautiful shots there of the sun going down here at Donington Park. It might even be morning settings actually, and the sun might be coming up. Tobias Olsen, fastest lap of the race now, a 20.1 in 10th position. A lot of drivers further back doing personal bests. Here's Wayne Palmer going past Greg Parmenter. Wayne is now back where he started in 20th place. Ross Nicholson and James Forsythe are the closest two drivers together on the circuit. Closely rivaled by Dominikas Javaisha under pressure from Ryan Mikulev. Down into the Melbourne hairpin they go. Like I've said, very difficult corner to get right. You've got to be so smooth when you come back onto the power as you're going up the hill. The car wants to break away. I don't think Mikulev was ready for Dominikas to break that early there. Dominikas is 8th in the race overall, 8th in class, and he's gained 8 positions. He's done that a couple of times tonight. Mikulev later on the brakes, down the inside he goes. Look at that. Fantastic commitment. And up a place. Now, if anyone's going to come back at him, Dominikas is the man. And oh, Mikulev doesn't leave the room down the inside. Dominikas does put his nose there. It was a little bit late, but Mikulev says no thank you. That could have gone very, very wrong indeed. And Dominikas has got no pace all of a sudden. What has happened there? He's completely lost all of his pace. Olsen brave enough to go around the outside. I'm wondering if the car did get damaged all of a sudden there for Dominikas. So this is it from on board with Dominikas. Leaves plenty of room for Mikulev. It's a good run, but a slipstream on the exit. Puts his nose on the left. Oh, Mikulev just says no. I think there was a bit of contact between the two. That's why he seemed to slow down. Or at least why Mikulev's car suddenly pitched left when the two wheels made contact, but wow. Oh no, sideways, that's Tim Rutten. Tim Rutten chucks it sideways out of the hairpin. Big drift to go with it as well. He's in 18th place with Adam Osceola just behind. Adam's gained 8 positions. Biggest mover in the field so far is Hansi. 10 places gained for Hansi. 21st on the grid up to 11th, and he is now 2nd in the consistency class. Silas Craig-Vrolik's off, and he's out. Silas Craig-Vrolik has been off the road. Oh, he clips the grass on the way in, clips the grass on the apex, clips the grass on the way out, and then he's going to batter it into the wall. That's a big old hit for Silas Craig-Vrolik. That's a real shame. A tough night comes to an end for another one of the Alcantech drivers. Here's Adam Osceola trying to defend from Wayne Palmer. Wayne looking down the inside into Coppice. Through he goes. Or does he? Now into the chicane they come. And behind them as well, Ben Hoffman wants to come through. He says, thanks very much, mate. Cheers, Adam. Thanks for holding him up, buddy. Ben goes past as well. Now we're on lap 10 out of 23, so we're not even at the halfway point yet. Dominikas Javaicia, by the way, has gone off. And he has decided that something is not quite right there. Let's go on board with him for a sec. This is when Silas went off on the right. Doesn't seem to be that much wrong with the car. I'm wondering whether he's having some sort of handling problem or anything like that, because it's definitely an odd one to see him just give up like that. Dominikas is one of the most committed drivers in the league. He's incredible. Now here is Tobias Olsen flying down the inside of Mikulev. Both of them overdo it. Mikulev does it more so. Well, we've said he's one of those drivers that's very, very quick, but on the edge is Mikulev. He proves it a little bit more just there. Hans Polmans is going to try and catch up and go through. Has he just done it again? Well, he's had a big lock-up or something. Now he's under pressure from Hansi. He still leads his class, but that is for the lead now. That Flemish Sim Sports car just behind him. That is for position, not just on the road, but in class. Silas in chat saying he doesn't like this track. You're one of very few, I must admit, Silas, but I can understand why after a night like this. I'm sorry to see it go that way for you, mate. It's not been a straightforward evening for you, has it? Victor Blick just behind Louis Correa at the moment. Louis leading the academy class, of course. And Vic third in consistency, although I believe Vic should be in precision because he's got the blue on his car. No, he is definitely consistency. He's up there in the championship standings for it, so I think it's just the decal layer that's wrong on the car. Hard onto the brakes he goes, trying to get the better of Louis Correa, and getting the better of Schmanski is Tim Rutten. Year one racing machine goes through. Schmanski doesn't fight it too hard. He's just holding on for second place in the academy class. Now in the next lap or so we should start to see some pit stops, I think. Maybe a few drivers going in. Now Mikulev's unhinged again. He's or unleashed, I should say. He's done a 1:19.8. What? A 1:19? That's insanely fast. That is like ridiculously fast. Bart Daleman did a 1:19.9 in the previous race on the final lap, but a 1:19.8 is crazy quick. And Olsen, no, Tobias, mate. The man that can't be moved from the start of the season suddenly is having a real nightmare. What's he done here? Oh, he's clipped the grass on the way in. Oh, he's overcorrected it, and that is actually a very, very big hit into the wall, but you'll see that the car suddenly, boop, yep. That's not what the real damage was at the time, it seems. He's got cars going past him now. There's a point where it's not worth dragging it back in, and you're just going to get in people's way. My goodness me, that was Ben Hoffman. To be fair, not making it easy. Victor Blick is not making it easy for himself either. Don't reverse like that, Vic. Who was that he clipped? Oh, it was Tim Rutten. Vic had his own moment, and then he decided to reverse, and that was the moment where it went wrong. He's hit Tim Rutten. Oh, he's just spun it on his own, and here comes poor Tim down the hill, and suddenly Vic starts going backwards. Oh, that is mighty, mighty frustrating for Tim. Frustrating to watch. Don't want to reverse onto the racing line like that. Not going to help anybody out. Zemstra then through the chicane with Ross Nicholson still giving him plenty to think about. Nicholson actually looks down the inside, doesn't quite do it there, but I imagine he scared Zemstra somewhat. Oh, Louis Correa's off. Class leader, needs to be careful. And Bart Daleman and Mark Fletcher into the pits. Mark in very quickly. Did he just hit the pit wall? Mark? You're right, mate. We're going to look, Mark. You can't get away with it. He's a good mate of mine, Mark, so he'll appreciate this. Slams on. Ooh, hey up, son. Whoa, no he doesn't. I'll give you that, Mark. Close. Close but no cigar. Back out of the pits he comes, side by side with Daleman. Now, who's going to get it? It's going to be Mark. Daleman lets him go. And Mark Fletcher leads the race at Donington Park. Incredible. His pit stop was actually slower than Bart's, but in the pit lane, he was in there for less time. I'm not sure if he's going to get done for speeding and have a drive-through or something next time round, but... well... Mark Fletcher leads this race. Then it's Bart Daleman, Alex Johnson, Kevin Zemstra, who is 4th where he started. Ross Nicholson is 5th ahead of James Forsyth. Jakob Schmanski leads the Academy class in 7th place overall, but has not pitted yet. Ryan Mikulev leads consistency again. Pullmans is 2nd in that class. 12th place is gained, biggest mover in the field. Up to McLean's they go. Look at the pace that these cars carry around there. It's amazing. But Mark Fletcher then has to really be careful now. He's got 9 laps to go, and he's got Bart Daleman, the fastest man in the series right now, all over him. Before tonight, Mark did message me. I can read you the message, word for word. He actually said, in his own words, "I'm going to be nowhere near tonight. I've only done 21 laps of testing. I've been busy on another sim." Oh yeah, and he said to be released soon, so he told me to be quiet about it, and I've already told you all what it is. Sorry, Mark. Jakob Schmanski's on his way into the pits. I never noticed that he's got Oreos written on the back wing of it. De Wolf has got Olsen and Hoffman for company right now. We'll look back from Stephen De Wolf's car. Olsen probably going to try and go through before you know it. We know how quick Tobias is when he's not throwing it off the road. Louis Correa has just been in the pits and has come back out. 3rd in his class. Oh, look at this from Tobias Olsen trying to go past Stephen De Wolf. Very, very close into the old hairpin. Great racing from the two of them. Oh, Tobias tries it down the inside and he's made a very, very, very big mess. Oh, he tried to cut back. Did Stephen defend it? It's hard to know. He needs to be careful with the rejoin. Greg Parmenter carries on, but Stephen's car is very, very broken. Well, let's have a look at what Tobias did. So he goes left, he chucks it to the right, but I think he expected Stephen to go further over than that. Let's have a look. We'll put it in slow motion, because why not? He goes to go over to the right. Stephen straightens up, and then that is the moment when the contact happens. The cars sort of interlock with each other. They mangle and do all manner of things. Ben Hoffman will have had a fantastic view of that. And that is the end of Tobias Olsen's race, and of course Stephen De Wolf's. It's not the way you want any race to end. Very, very messy stuff there. Tobias seems to be a man under pressure at the moment, doesn't he? Mark Fletcher is as well. Bart Daleman right behind him. Two of them just slowing it down nice and smoothly into the Melbourne hairpin. 7 laps left to go. Pullman's all over the back of Rhys Saunders. Year 1 versus Flemish Sim Sports. Ryan Mikulev is 4.8 seconds up the road from these guys. Hansy flings it in one way then the other. We need to look further forward actually, because there's another car here somewhere. There's a car going very slowly across the line as well. Is that Robert Odom's just staying out of the way? This is Ross Nicholson and Kevin Zemstra. Oh, Zemstra is a little bit wide on the exit of Redgate. Ross is going to try and get around the outside, then the inside at the Craners. He's got a tiny overlap. There's contact. Zemstra's gone flying. Well, Kevin didn't leave him the room. The overlap was there. He can't bank on Ross backing out of that one. And there you go. Well, Ross put his nose down the inside. There's an overlap for long enough. There was a bit of netcode involved. That's a massive understatement, but unfortunately, Kevin needed to leave more room there in my eyes. Now this is the battle for the lead. Fletcher and Daleman still going hammer and tongs at the moment. Fletcher goes a bit deep into the Melbourne hairpin. Daleman there with him. Keeps it down the inside. And then looks down the inside once again. The gap across the line, 4.5 tenths of a second. 5 laps to go. Nicholson and Forsyth now close together after that tangle between him and Zemstra. Zemstra still carrying on though. He's still in 6th place, so he's able to continue. Here's Tim Rutten and Ben Hoffman. Purple sector won by Bart Daleman on this lap as well. We've got a number of battles to watch. Whoa, Ben Hoffman's got more to watch than that now. Amazing avoidance by Ben Hoffman, it has to be said, but well, he was just too late on the brakes. He was very close to the back of Tim Rutten and fortunately didn't run into him. He very easily could have. Now here's your leaders once again. Fletcher, Daleman. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's Kevin Zemstra out of the race. Ben Hoffman went off the road obviously before that, but just after it is when Zemstra went off. Up at Coppice. Oh, he's gone way too hot. Clips the grass. Oh. I sense some frustration there from Mr. Zemstra. Now, Louis Correa's been off, then Tim Rutten, and then Louis Correa again. Now, Louis was 3rd in his class. He's gone a bit too hot into the old hairpin. Comes back on. That's Wayne Palmer that's going to come past him. Oh, Tim's gone off the road on his own. No. No. I thought there was going to be contact there, but the two of them are still going, so all is good. Speaking of still going, this battle. Alex Johnson, by the way, 3rd place. What an improved night he's having since showing us how when a mummy Formula 3 car and a daddy Formula 3 car love each other very much and make a Formula 4 car. Ross Nicholson still under pressure from Forsyth just behind this, though. Now, there's no Alcantech cars really for Johnson to climb over the back of now. Mark Fletcher is the only one in front of him. But they still fight out of the final corner. And back down the hill once again. It seems like a bit of a stalemate at the moment. The pace is very, very strong at the front of the field. And at the very top of it right now is these two. Mark Fletcher and Bart Daleman. Look at that, Mark trying to use the tiniest bit of slipstream from Robert Odoms. Through the chicane one way, then the other. Mark's just trying to do everything he can to keep Bart out of that slipstream. Bart's trying to go late on the brakes. Mark reacts to it. He's gone deep. I think Bart scared him into it, but he's going to try and carry the pace around the outside. Not long left to go now. And still Bart is tucked right up behind his rear wing. There he is. The very menacing helmet design for Bart Delman as well, with the angry eyes and the teeth and everything else all over it. But this is for the win. Bart has won both races so far this evening. Mark barely done any testing this week, he said. And he's managing to hold him off for now. But is Bart just toning his attack and waiting for the final couple of laps? We'll have to see. Craig Schill, by the way, has gained 12 places, but he's just gone off the road for a sec. He's come back on without losing places. Mark looks like he's a lot wider through Coppice, but he manages to carry the pace. Still just trying to compare the lap times here. 1:19.88 for Fletcher last time round. 1:19.84 for Bart Daleman. Look at this. They're both just clipping the grass that tiny bit on the left-hand side of the circuit. We saw Ross Nicholson do it earlier. And they're using every little inch of the circuit here. Mark clipping the dust on the way in, Bart clipping it on the way out. And again as they go back up the hill. Now down towards McLean's. I say down, obviously it's up towards McLean's. Long, late apex right-hander. Again, using all of the track. Look at these two together. It's like a dance at 100 miles an hour. They've got traffic in front of them. Down towards the chicane. Bart very, very close. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's just waiting for a mistake. Mark just puts the car in the middle of the road. Does he get it stopped though? He does. Oh, they're so close to contact. I think there was a little bit picked up there by Bart's front wing. The end plate looking a little bit damaged. This is definitely the best seat in the house right now as we come round the final corner. One more lap to go then. Fletcher leads it from Daleman. White flag waved by Barney. Up to Redgate. Mark got a great run out of that final corner. Bart just composing himself for this final lap, I imagine. He's not as close as he has been down here. Into the old hairpin. Mark carries so much pace through there. Look at that. He's got an absolutely unbelievable run as they go back up the hill. Chucks it through the left. Hard into McLean's. Looks like he was a bit hesitant on the turn in. Uses quite a lot of the dirt on the outside. Nicholson and Forsyth still having a fight further back, by the way. We might have to look at that in a second, but Fletcher safe for now. This is that fight. What's that coming over the hill? Yeah, it's a Forsyth. And it's a Nicholson. James wants to get some redemption in terms of position for his teammate Kevin Zemstra, who we saw very frustrated before, understandably of course. But Fletcher has opened the gap up into these final couple of corners. There was a car off on the inside of the circuit. That's Craig Schill. There's only one more hairpin to go though. Hard onto the brakes for the flying altitude with Alcantech car. Onto the power, and Mark Fletcher wins at Donington Park. An awesome performance, and you can see just how happy he is with that. Bart Daleman rounds out a fantastic evening with second place. Alex Johnson finishes in third place ahead of Ross Nicholson, who just beats Forsyth to the line. Then it's Rhys Saunders, who's going to be next up, but some 19 seconds back. That is the pace of our top five in that race. There is Rhys for Team Year 1. Strong night for him. And Hans Polmans, well, I hope his fan club's watching. 14 places gained for Hansy, and he wins the consistency class ahead of Ryan Mikulev and Khan Newen, who is going to be 7.8 seconds back by the time he crosses the line. And then it's the same gap once again to Jakob Schmanski, who is going to win the academy class after having 2 incidents earlier on and being really annoyed at himself. Bless him, he's done it. Great, great drive. Greg Parmenter is going to come home second in the academy class. And then it's going to be Adam Ossioala, who is a lap down to finish third in his class. But Mark Fletcher has done it. He did it at Brands last season. He just arrived in the championship and took an overall win. But he's won the final race of the evening ahead of the almost untouchable Bart Daleman. He's almost thrown it off the road at the end though, as Mark. But he withstood a hell of a lot of pressure at the end of that one, didn't he? Absolutely awesome to watch. And there you go. There's your result. Fletcher from Daleman from Jonsson. Ross Nicholson takes 4th ahead of James Forsyth. Reece Saunders is in 6th. The only precision drivers in the top 20. Hans Polmans, Ryan Mikulev and Khan Newen is the consistency class podium ahead of Jakob Schmanski and Wayne Palmer. Then it's Tim Rutten with Ben Hoffman 13th. Greg Palmer to 14th, Victor Blick 15th ahead of Adam Ossioala, Craig Schill and Robert Odoms, all 1 lap down. Then Phil Reagan 2 laps down, Louis Correa, Kevin Zemstra, Stephen DeWolf, Tobias Olsen, Stephen Grabowski, Silas Kragvrolic, Dominikas Javaisha, Daniele Di Giudici, I thought he was further up than that, what? Philip Russell 28th. Those guys are non-finishers. Philip Russell citing internet problems, the reason for his early retirement from the race. Well, Mark sort of sitting there having a moment, I think. But we'll have a quick look back and show you the checkered flag, and you'll see just how much this meant to Mark as he crossed the line. After not doing much testing, I don't think he's got any excuses now, to be honest. I'm going to tell him that next time he texts me. But there you go, there is the celebration across the line. Very well done indeed. Great night from Bart Daleman, to be fair to him. He threw absolutely everything at this evening. And to be honest, just fell short right at the end. But we'll have a quick word with him now, actually. We'll drag him in and see what he has to say. Because, Bart, it's been a hell of an evening for you, to be fair. They're taking the win in those first 2 races, but then just to get pipped at the post by Mark, is that a bad thing, or are you just happy with the points overall from tonight?
Yeah, I'm happy with the points. So Fletcher, I think Mark had a lot of problems in the first races, so I don't think he's the real competition at the moment. So I have a deficit on Olsen, and that's why we try to do in playoff B, try to close the gap and make us get us in a good position for the finals.
Well, you've certainly done it that way, mate. You've shown exactly what pace you can bring this evening if you hadn't already. Well, I have to ask it because it seems like it might be, but is Donington Park a favourite of yours, would you say? Because it certainly looked like it tonight.
Yeah, it seems to suit me very well. The last time we went here with the Sim Stickers series, that was the only race I could beat Falcon and Herbigno in the same race. Yeah. So it seems to be a track that suits me very well. And yeah, too bad I totally didn't practice the pit stop and I didn't know where the line was, so that was a little bit stupid of me. I practiced all week on my standing starts because Tobias is very, very good on the starts.
Yeah.
And I practiced a lot, and it was because if you get pole position, but in turn 1 he's already beside you, then the pole is not very good.
Yeah, true. Very true. Well, still, it's been fantastic to watch you, Bart, and obviously big points for the championship, helping you towards the finals. We go to the Hungaro Ring next week, one of my very favourite circuits in the world. Is that a place where you're feeling confident? Because it can quite notoriously be difficult to overtake there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful track. I love watching it. I only drove it in the F1 game. I didn't even buy it yet, so tomorrow we'll start practice will start, and yeah, we'll see. I hope I can be a competition for the fast guys.
And just before we let you go, mate, is there anyone that you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank you for all the work you do, and now also alone, solo again. That's hard work. And yeah, admin team who do the pro, always easy. And there's a lot of critics, but it's always the same in every series. And yeah, that's it. And my teammates. I think I want to thank Ross Nicholson because he returned to the Sim Stickers series for me because I needed a wingman against the Alcantag guys, and he did well today. He did well.
Lovely stuff, mate. Well, great to speak to you as always, Bart. Thank you very much for the shout out as well, and I will see you again very, very soon, mate.
Yeah, see you soon, mate.
Cheers. Lovely stuff. Always good to have a quick chat with Bart, and as you saw there, he did a absolutely mega job near the end of the night. Now, somebody that had a very up and down evening is someone that we've actually just caught in slow motion off the road, which is Jakob Schmanski. Jakob, obviously early on you said that after the first two races you were very frustrated and considering not continuing with the evening. I imagine you're quite glad that you did now.
Yes, somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling well tonight, and it was just going into my head, but Bart and Victor persuaded me to continue, and it paid off.
It certainly did, and of course a change of livery this week as well, the Hot Wheels car as opposed to the Williams. What was the thinking behind that?
I've done a lot of practice before, and essentially every single lap I fell off the track, and it kind of reminded me when I was a kid and built from Hot Wheels, that ridiculous tracks, and they were always crashing. I was always angry because I didn't know why, and somehow it reminded me of this practice and of the being a kid again. So no, why not? I'm not in the team yet, so I'm not bound to anything.
I like that thinking, mate, to be fair. Good stuff. Well, it certainly went well in the end in that final race. Obviously, you got a big bag full of points from it. Is that something that you'll expect to get in a couple of weeks, or, well, next week, when we go to the Hungaroring? Is that a place that you know well?
Hungaroring, I know well from other games. Problem is, I didn't really drive in F3 in Hungaroring, apart from a few laps, and I know that quite a lot of drivers didn't do it as well. So Hungaroring might be the most interesting race of the season, just because nobody has any serious experience with it. Because like Donington or Road Atlanta, people have years of laps on them, and Hungaroring is completely fresh. It's something that doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah, it's very true, mate. Very true. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting one with little experience for a lot of drivers around us. So we'll have to see. Before we go, though, do you want to give anybody a quick shout out, mate?
Not really a shout out, but I'd like to excuse myself for the incident in race 2 because it's completely my fault. So I'm very sorry to all the guys who are involved in it. Other than that, I'd like to thank Bart and Vake for putting out and helping me in the practice because they help a lot. Obviously to you for putting up with us. Hopefully not too much annoyed. And yeah, to everyone, very much thanks to Academy guys who actually showed up, and we had an actual nice big field.
Yeah, it was
every
awesome.
other drivers to that.
Yeah, it was really good to see the Academy guys out in force, and at the end of the day, you were at the top of them, so very well done, mate. We will see you in a week's time at the Hungaroring then. Have a good evening.
Yeah, see you all then.
Cheers. Jakob Schmanski, a really, really lovely guy, to be fair, and always good to speak to. And to be fair, he was modest about his mistakes. He explained that, it was a simple moment of his own. Now, he's going to think I'm talking about him, but I've just brought Mark Fletcher in. He's quite the opposite of all those things. He's so far up his own backside, you won't believe it, especially after tonight. But no testing tonight, Mark, and look what happened. I bet you won't text me about that again, will you?
No, I'm not going to lie, slightly surprised. But man, Bart is unreal. He's like, oh yeah, I think I've done about 500 laps practice. I was like, that explains quite a lot.
What? To your 20?
21.
Oh, there you go.
To do the outlap.
You can't add that on. Flipping out. Well, is this a circuit that you enjoy and know well? Because I think I've seen you here quite a lot in other series, haven't I? If I recall.
Yeah, we've done a lot of GT racing here. It's my home track, we'll call it. Even though on the stream the Silverstone is my home track, but yeah, it's a mega track to be fair. I was really worried coming out of sort of practice this evening into quali, sitting like P11. I thought this is going to be a really tough night, but no. To be fair, it was really good. Silly mistake by myself in race 1, just caught the grass following Ross. But yeah, it was an all right night actually. I'm going to look at the pass in race 2, which was 4 wide, going into the old hairpin, which was pretty exciting.
As you do. But I mean, talk to me again about Bart. The defence at the end there that you had to do. It didn't look like you had to move the car around too much to defend in the last few laps, but before that, there were moments where you could tell that you felt like you had to put the car in the middle of the road. Was it much of a panic, or was it quite a calm defence from your side?
I mean, Bart's one of those guys, you know yourself. There's certain people in certain series that can race. And to be fair, if they're going to send it, you're well aware they are, and you'll just give them space. There was a couple of times into the old hairpin. Obviously, the chat was saying, oh, yeah, defend going into the old hairpin because he's going to send it. And you could see him coming. You know, he pulls out early enough that you just open up the corner for you both. There's, it's pointless doing that. But, man, that was tough. I got a really good pit entry. Which I think saved my bacon there, to be fair. He was going. I couldn't keep up.
Well, to be fair, I thought you'd hit the wall, and we replayed it just looking to see if you did, so I could take the mick out of you. But you actually did absolutely nail it, to be fair. So fair play in that regard.
But yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal tonight. It was going to be a case if he was going to get past, he was going to get past cleanly. So I wasn't worried about us coming together. He's one of those guys. But yeah, luckily managed to hold him off. And you'll be pleased to know, if you watch it back, I'll get it clipped. I did it a fist bump over the line, so you can send that to Mr. Williams.
Yes, I'll let him know. Love it. Well, you did more than a fist bump. The car was all over the place when you crossed the line. It was great to see the reaction, mate. But we go to the Hungaroring next week. Now, it's one of my very, very favourite circuits in the world. I was meant to go twice this year, but didn't, unfortunately. But what's it like for you? Is it a place that you like? Is it a circuit that you prefer watching to driving, or vice versa?
I think it's going to be a really good race, actually. I think it's a track where practice really helps. It's definitely a driver's track. There's certain lines through some of the S's and stuff that you've just got to get right. So yeah, we're going to head there, hopefully have some more good results. But yeah, I'm over the moon to win tonight. It was mega.
You can say that again, mate. It was fantastic. You really pulled that one out of the woodwork after little practice and two very tough races to begin with. But of course, you know the question by now. Do you want to give anybody a shout out before you go?
Yeah, just all the guys, obviously in Altitude, the quick sponsors, the Ace Techs, the Sim Stickers, the Freems, and Sim Racing Studio. Obviously my teammate Alex, who drove incredibly well tonight. Fair play to him as well. Our little team flying at Altitude with Alcantech. We kind of joined together. But yeah, and thanks for streaming again, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries at all, Mark. And I must admit, I think your little secret about the other things out of the bag, because I forgot that you told me not to tell anybody.
And apparently it's been posted elsewhere as well.
Oh, right. Oh, well, I didn't do that. But that's not my fault. Anyway, great to speak to you as always, Mark. Thank you very much. Well done on your win, and we'll see you next week for the Hungaroring.
Cheers, Jazz. Have a good weekend.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
There you go then. My mate Mark Fletcher doing a wonderful, wonderful job taking the win this evening. Bart Daleman, though, almost reigned completely supreme all night. But at the end, it was just pipped to the post. But that is all we have time for this evening on Sim Racers World TV from the Sim Stickers Sim Racers World Formula 3 series. Really hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Don't forget to, of course, like the video. Give us a subscribe on the channel if you haven't already. And we will see you again. I will see you again for the Hungaroring in a week's time. Have a fantastic night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Oh, and just as a treat, we'll leave you with this absolute banger from Brooks. We'll see you in a bit.
Rising with each beat of the music is bringing the real flames in the fire that keeps burning.